Good morning. Today is Friday, March 27th, 2020, and today we are going to be dividing by 5s and 10s. Go ahead and open your textbook to lesson 9, and let's begin by reading. It says, Emma has 15 celery sticks. She puts 5 celery sticks on each plate. How many plates does she need? So here are our celery sticks. There is 5 celery sticks that are going to go in each plate. 5 sticks on each plate, 5 sticks on each plate. The question says, how many plates does she need? We can see that she needs 3 plates because the pictures are very helpful. When we're setting this up, we would set it up as a division problem. We would start by saying there are 15 celery sticks divided by number in each group. There is 5 in each group equals the number of groups. There are 3 groups. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. Or we can solve this by knowing our multiplication facts. We would start with the number in each group, which we know, 5, and the total. Our total was 15 celery sticks. And we would ask ourselves, what times 5 is 15? Now we know multiples of 5, so we can say 5, 10, 15. We know that 3 times 5 equals 15. Okay, we're going to look at 1A and 1B. Let's start with 1A in our book. It says divide 20 counters into groups of 5. So groups of 5, that means it's telling us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another group of 5. We're going to keep making groups of 5 until we reach 20. Groups of 5. 5, 10, 15. Did we reach there yet? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another group of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. We're going to start with 20 counters because we always start with our total. 20 counters divided by 5 groups in each is going to give me the number of groups I need. So let's count to see how many groups we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can also ask ourselves, before I write this in here, you could say what times 5 is 20? 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 times 5 is 20. You can use this knowledge to help you solve your division problem as well. There are 4 groups. Now letter B, 1B, is using similar numbers. We're still dividing 20 counters, but this time we're dividing it into 5 equal groups. This time they're giving us that they want us to use 5 equal groups. So 1 group, 2 group, 3 group, 4 group, 5 groups. So again, we're starting with 20 because that is our total. We're dividing it by the number of groups, which is 5. And now we're going to find out how many are inside of each group. Again, you can use your knowledge of multiplication to solve for division. You could say 5 times what gives you 20. We know that 5 times 4 is 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 groups of 5 make 20. Now let's check inside our groups. We have 5 groups. I'm going to share this 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I shared all the way until I reached 20. Now I can check to see how many are inside of each group. I have 4 counters inside of each group. So 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4. There are 4 counters in each group. Now let's look at letter 1C and 1D. 1C says divide 20 counters into 10 equal groups. So we're starting with the total always. We're going to divide it by 10 equal groups, the number of groups, to find out how many are in each group. So 10 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know I have 10 groups. Inside of each group, let's find out how many we have. I'm going to start sharing my 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I reached 20. I have no more to share. I can see that inside of each group, there are 2 counters. So 20 divided by 10 gives me 2. You can also use your knowledge of multiplication to solve for this division problem. You can ask yourself, there are 10 groups. 10 multiplied by what gives you 20? We know 10 times 2 gives you 20. 10, 20. Letter D is sharing the same amount of counters. Divide 20 counters. This time, it says divide them into groups of 10. They're telling us they want them in groups of 10. So I'm going to make a group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is one group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's another group of 10. Notice that my pictures look different based on what I'm supposed to divide it into. Again, if you were to divide 20, divide it by 10. The number 20, divide it into groups of 10. There are 2 groups. This 10 represents the number of counters inside of each group. So we have 2 groups. You could also use your knowledge of multiplication to solve for an addition problem. You can say, times 10 is 20. Essentially, you're saying, how many 10s do you need to get to 20? I need 2 10s to get to 20. 2 times 10 equals 20. Okay, let's look at the next page, number 2, letter A and letter B. Let's start with letter A. It says, times 5 equals 20. This is like saying, how many 5s are in 30? I'm sorry, I said 20. In 30. What times 5 is 30? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I counted 6 up to 30. And since we know our multiplications for 5s, we can say 6 times 5 is 30. We're going to use our knowledge of multiplication. We know if 6 times 5 is 30, 30 divided by 5 should be 6. Let's check to see if we are correct. Here we have 30 counters. We're going to divide them into groups of 5. So here's a group of 5. Here's another group of 5. I'm just going to circle groups of 5. And then we're going to count to see how many groups we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups. So we are correct. Let's look at 2B. 10 times what gives me 50? This is like saying, how many 10s do I need to get to 50? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I needed 5 groups of 10 to get the 50. Or you can say, oh, I already know 10 times 5 is 50. Since we know 10 times 5 is 50, we also know 50 divided by 10 is 5. This is saying how many groups of 10 are inside the number 50. Let's check here to see if we are correct. How many groups of 10? Here is one group of 10, our second group of 10, our third group of 10, our fourth group of 10, and our fifth group of 10. There are 5 groups of 10. So 50 divided by 10 is equal to 5. All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says find the value. So we're just going to solve some division problems. Let's start with letter A. It says 25 divided by 5. This is saying how many 5s are inside the number 25. So if you use your knowledge of multiplication, you could say 5 times 5 is 25. So that means 25 divided by 5 should be 5. Or you can use your knowledge of counting by 5s to see how many groups of 5 you need to get to 25. So we can say I need 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Notice I shared 5 equally, and then I'm going to count how many groups did I share them with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of 5 equals 25. That's like saying 5 times 5 is 25, right? Let's look at letter B. Letter B says 15 divided by 5. So we want to know how many 5s are inside of 15. 5, 10, 15. there are 3 5s inside of the number 15. This is like saying 3 times 5 equals 15. 3 times 5 is 15. Let's look at letter C and use our multiplication thinking. Just like when we did this one, I said 3 times 5 is 15. What times 5 is 40? I know 8 times 5 is 40. Now let's check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 groups of 5 gave me 40. This is just like saying 8 times 5 equals 40. Let's look at letter D. 35 divided by 5. How many 5s are inside of the number 35? Or you can ask yourself, what times 5 gives you 35? I know 7 times 5 is 35. Let's check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups. 7 times 5 is 35. Let's look at letter E. It says 80 divided by 10 equals what? This is like saying what number multiplied by 10 equals 80. I know 8 times 10 is 80. But let's count by 10s just to check to see how many 10s are inside of 80. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 groups. So 80 divided by 10 is 8. Let's do our last one, letter F. 60 divided by 10. This is saying how many 10s are inside of 60. What times 10 is equal to 60? 6 times 10 is equal to 60. Let's count by 10s just to check. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups of 10 are inside of 60. So 60 divided by 10 equals 6. Okay, let's look at number 4. Adriana has 45 pencils. She wants to put 5 pencils in each bundle. How many rubber bands does she need? So again, we're going to start with our total, which is 45. We know she has 45 pencils. We're going to divide this equally by 5. This number 5 represents number of pencils in each group, are 5, equals how many rubber bands does she need? So in order to solve 45 divided by 5, I'm going to use my knowledge of multiplication, and I'm going to say what number times 5 is equal to 45. I know that 9 times 5 is 45. So that means 45 divided by 5 is also 9. But I'm going to draw a picture and count by 5s just to make sure my answer is correct. So here's one group of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 4, 4, and 1. 4, 8, 9. There are 9 groups. So that means there are 9 rubber bands needed. So she can bundle up each group of 5 pencils. You guys are doing a great job. Here is our last word problem for this lesson. Let's read. A carpenter has a board that is 20 foot long. He saws it into 5 pieces of equal length. How long is each piece? So what I understand is we have 20 foot long board, that is the total. We're going to share that, which means divide because he's cutting it into 5 pieces of equal length. So he's going to share it by 5. And our answer is going to tell us how long is each piece. 20 divided by 5. What number times 5 is equal to 20? I know 4 times 5 is 20. So my answer must be 4. he is sawing it into 5 pieces of equal length. So then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and they must be equal. So I'm going to get ready to share that 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I reached 20, so I've shared all of it. That means each piece of board is 4 foot long, 4 feet. And if we wanted to double check our work, we would count. We would check to see if this totals 20, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So our answer is correct. Awesome job today, you guys. Let's open to our textbooks. I'm sorry, your workbook to lesson exercise 9, where you're going to solve some multiplication and division problems. And then you're going to do more multiplication and division up here. Here you're doing some division problems and just matching your answers. And then you're finishing off with some word problems, which are the best. Oh, and at the end, there's some fun challenges for you. As always, reach out to an adult if you have any questions. You guys did an awesome job today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.